So then, here we are. We are about to put this into that, because that one is kaput. Now, we've not done this before, so this should be fun.
This is the fun part, yeah.
Right, so we've took the first cover off and we've exposed the battery connections there. So you've got your LV comms, your main DC link. We think that one goes to a PTC heater, and then your manual service disconnect. That one is most important, start with that one. You've also got your battery cooling lines here with the fast connectors, so we'll need to do those in just a minute. But the first things first is we're going to take the master service disconnect. So there is a secondary lock, which is this red thing. You just pull that tab back, that releases it. You can then squeeze and pull like that. And that is your master service. All it is a shunt, and that just breaks the HVIL comms, which then should render the battery safe for us to then take the DC link and the other HV connections off.
Lots of space between the chassis rails.
And very simply, it's just bolted up with these, I think, 4 bolts either side, 4 main bolts either side.
5.
Just straight up into the chassis rails either side. Battery's got 120,000 miles on this car, and it's starting to show signs of some degradation at low states of charge, so we're going to try and swap it and see what happens. Now, MG told us it can't be done, it needs to be coded in and all this sort of gubbins, but really the only thing that's intelligent on it is the BMS. So if we need to, we'll swap the BMSs over. Oh, we've got the earth strap as well, I forgot to show you that earlier. So that ground strap goes up to the chassis there, so we just need to drop that off when dropping the battery pack as well. But yeah, we'll come back to that in a moment. Right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to deal with these cooling channels. You'll see there is a little metal spring clips there, which you just pull towards you.
That looks good now. I think it got both sides.
Right, so after a bit of faffing around, we've got the metal spring clip. You just have to ease the back sides of it open just to splay them out. You've then got a plastic hose clip just here. Right, we've got the plastic clip off, which then just frees that pipe from its sister pipe. And now we can go ahead and give this a bit of a pull and see which way she's going to come out. Let's hope it's not more than a bucket full. Right, so what we've done now is put a little pipe on the one side of the cooling loop, and we're just going to blow a little bit of air into that and see if we can push the rest of this coolant out. So when attempting this is a vital bit of equipment. Height adjustable trolley that we can get underneath the car, get the battery sat down onto, and then we can safely remove all the bolts and wind that down, because these things are about 150 kilos or so. Right, so we'll start with the heater connection, I think it is. So secondary lock, slide that backwards, push in firmly, and then she should pop off. Right, so next we're going to do the DC link, and to do that you have to slide this secondary lock downwards towards you. That then releases the black lever, which then just pulls towards you, and it will drive the main connector off, and you can just then
give it a wiggle, she said.
Give her a wiggle. Like so. That's the main DC off. And then lastly is the LV. We just push in there, pull the cover back towards you, and drive that off as well. And that is all of our electrical connections released. So now, last thing we have to do is just get the earth strap off the car body. Okay, so earth strap. Is off. We are now ready to drop the pack. So we're just cracking these off with the big bar to start with, but we'll just go around with all of them. Pick up the ones at the back, make them do some work.
take those out the back. Pull them out the back.
So now we should be unattached.
Lift the car up very gently if we can. Hold it.
Yeah.
Why is the battery going up with it?
So we found the sneaky offenders that we'd missed, and there's two nicely placed in the middle, one there, which go up through the middle of the pack, and we missed those. So we're going to drop those out the way, we'll slacken those off, and then we'll be ready to drop the battery again, and hopefully this time it'll actually come out. How did we miss those? So this step's really important, just getting the trolley lined up squarely on the pack, making sure we're not trapping any of those earth straps or cables, but that we're distributing the weight of the pack evenly over this trolley. And then we're just going to drop the ramp gently on, get it the height set. So she's taking the weight. It's a batteryless MGZS. Here it is.
How much is it under there?
Actually pretty good. It's the best bit of the car, Bill. Right, there she is. She is out. And that is what an MGZS battery looks like. Now, we're cheating a little bit because it really helps when you've got a big old gantry crane to lift the battery. But you need to make sure that you've got something suitable around you, or a lot of lads, to lift this thing, because it's not light. But that's the trolley out, and we now put the old battery down onto a pallet, ready for the new one. We've got the new battery in place on the trolley. We're just about to hopefully lower the car, pop it in the hole and see what happens. Right, so we're on the trolley, and we're just winding up. Get these bolt holes aligned and get her home.
You want to send her up?
Yep, so we've got all the bolts in, not tight yet, just let it align. Interestingly, there's no spigots to line this up. You've got quite a bit of play in the bolt holes, so you just have to fiddle about a little bit to get her lined up, but she's in, and she's held. Result, and she's in. So that's the physical bit done. The battery pack has been swapped, and the new one is home. We haven't torqued it yet. We'll do a final torque. We're going to do an operational test first, reconnect all of the electrics and the coolant, and see what we get in terms of operation. And then once we're happy, we'll torque her all up, and it's job done. We'll start by putting the main power bus back in. Right, so we'll start by getting the main power bus back in. Safety in. LV comms. Clicked. That's probably DC-DC thinking about it actually, rather than heater. That's secondary lock in. And then last but not least is the shunt. Oh, ground strap. Let's get the ground strap back on. Put the service disconnect in.
Okay.
And then we can connect the coolant hoses. That was down my arm.
It got you eventually.
That's one. And that's two. And then reconnect the holding bracket just by snapping it together, he says. Like so.
Symbols.
And that, I'll just do a little pull test on those. Yeah, we're on. Okay, so next job is to refill the coolant reservoir and then try and start pumping the coolant back into the pack. So we've just topped that up as much as we can, and then hopefully we'll fire up the pumps and it'll start taking that coolant.
Right.
With any luck, so here we go. Let's find out whether we...
This is where it says, warning, battery pack stolen.
Oh dear.
It says it's ready, and it tells me it's got 114 miles. Press OK. Service the vehicle soon. Yeah, well, we know that. Okay, has that cooled down at all?
No. Thing is though, do the pumps run if it's not a temperature? Do they only run if the battery gets to temperature?
Could be, yeah.
Well, before you do anything, let's lift her a little bit more and put her in gear. See if it will give us drive. Hold on.
Telling me that it's icy roads because the back wheels aren't turning.
I told you it might upset the ABS. So far so good. Right, well that's the battery all torqued up. We couldn't find any torque specs, so we've just taken them. They're 10.9 bolts, so they're quite strong. So we've done 30 foot-pounds on those. So they're all in. So now we can go ahead and put the little under tray cover back on. That's it, just pop the little 10 mils back in. I think there's about 6 of them. And that is how you swap a battery in a 2019 MGZS.
I've got a nearly full battery.
Oh,
So not only did I get a cheap battery, it was fully charged.
winning?
Bonus.
Well, it seemed like it went all right.
It's certainly, when you put your foot down, it's got its zip back.
Well, give it a kick some more, get some temperature in it, and let's see if we can get some coolant through. Well, that seemed to have gone better than expected. And in the meantime, let's have a look at some of the other toys.